About to hit it. 10,000 miles. Yay, we hit 10K. What's up, guys? I'm here at Rolling Heights, way up high here. Look at this. This view is beautiful right here. This is a spot that I love to go. I've taken a couple of photos here before. If you go through my Instagram, you'll see that this place is pretty familiar. I've shot my friend's Alfa Romero and my cousin's C8 right at that spot right there, and my car is right there. But this is a video. It's to update on the car. It is 10,000 miles. I got this car in late March and I can't believe it's already been 10,000 miles. This video is going to be going over a little bit of the things that I like and the things that I don't like so much about the car. Let's get started. So first things first, gotta get started with one of my favorite things about this car is a manual gearbox. Manual gearbox is probably one of my favorite things about this car. This is actually my first manual car and I actually learned to drive in this, and it's actually really easy. It's not that hard. The clutch is really easy to learn from. There's a lot of forgiveness in the clutch, I would say. Like, it's a really good beginner's clutch because you're able to kind of mess up, and then if you feel the car is about to stall, you can just kind of put the clutch in and then you'll be fine. So very easy clutch to learn from, and I really do recommend it if you guys are planning to get a manual car, or you thought about getting a manual car but you're intimidated with the idea of driving a manual car because you've never owned one before. Even though this is a new car, a lot of the clutches are built to take a little bit of a beating. So when you're first starting to, drive and kind of learn the process, it's actually not too bad for the car. You can mess up a couple times. Like even now, sometimes I would stall at a light if I, accidentally let out the clutch too quickly. It's a good learning process. Second thing I really like about this car is, as you see right here at the gas cap, miles per gallon. This car is my daily driver. It is my only car. I sold my old Lexus IS for it, and it gets such good gas mileage. Like, I drive a lot. Some days I probably drive about 100 miles because my school is pretty far away and my work is pretty far away from where I'm living. So yeah, it has gotten me through a lot. I mean, it's been less than a year and I'm already at 10,000 miles, so that should say something about it, right? Another cool thing about this car is if you're forgetful like me and you have a tendency to sometimes put your keys and your backpack and everything you have in the trunk and you close it, this car lets you know that you closed your keys inside and the trunk will actually open for you, which is so sick. Last but not least, the thing I love about this car the most is the people I meet when I drive this car, just like the aftermarket support and everything that this car has to offer when you start to drive it. It's crazy because when I first got the car, there weren't that many out at the moment, so there's a bunch of people that like pull up to you, tell you to roll down your windows and say hi and say I like your car and stuff like that, which is really cool. I feel like I didn't get that often when I was driving my Lexus, and I feel like this car just kind of comes with a different kind of territory. And in terms of like the aftermarket support, a lot of the first generation stuff already kind of translates over. I think with the exception of some exhausts, I know some of the exhausts don't fit exactly as intended for this, and it could cause a little bit of leaks. Make sure you do your research before you buy an exhaust. I kind of just saved myself the headache and just bought the AWE exhaust that was specifically catered to this generation of cars, so that's perfect. And the other thing is like things like coilovers. I know those also translate over to this car. Even companies like KW and Öhlins, they group their suspension all under the same generation, which is generation 1. It doesn't seem like they're gonna kind of build a specific suspension just for the second generation. So it's nice to know that all the parts from the first gen kind of translate over, so you don't have to wait for more like research and development for those parts. Now to go on with the dislikes, what I don't like about this car, and it's like very minor things. It's not very... There's a guy yelling at his dog. For starters, Toyota decided to wrap these with Michelin Primacy tires. I think they're okay. Me and my friend have driven canyons with this before, and you can definitely hear the tire slip. They're all-season tires. They do the job for daily driving, but I would say that's a no for me. If you want to do something outside of that, even on certain canyon runs, it could be a little sketch. So, however, if you do get the premium version, you do get Michelin, I believe, the Pilot Sport PS4 tires that come with it, and bigger rims. So I'm sure those would do a lot better. But I just got the regular base version just because that was the first model that came. So, you know, I got to save a couple of $1,000. This was the first allocation that came in, so I just kind of stuck with what I got. I had to get back in the car to show you guys the other things that I don't like about this car. For starters, it's gonna be the Android Auto and the Apple CarPlay. It's not very... I mean, it's good. I'm glad I have it. My previous car doesn't have it, but I can show you what happens. So it has this glitch where it just kind of disconnects randomly when you move your device. Let's see. We should see if I can show you here. So I updated the Android Auto yesterday, hoping that maybe it would fix it, but let me see. So let me just plug this in. Alright, plugged in, connecting to Android Auto. And then I hit this, and then if I just move the phone around, look at that, just like that, and it disconnects, and then it's trying to reconnect again. So like sometimes when you're just trying to change the music and you just move the cable a little bit, there it is, and it disconnects. And I have tried multiple solutions for this. I've tried plugging it into outlet 2 to see if outlet 1 was kind of messed up. Didn't solve the problem. I've also tried switching cords. This is actually probably the best cord you can get for at least my phone, because this is an original Google cord that I actually spent money to buy because I had an Amazon cord before and it wasn't working well and it kept disconnecting. I will say when I switched it over to this one, it did make it a little better, but I'm just disappointed that it still disconnects, which is so annoying. I'm pretty sure some of you were waiting for this, but here is the other one that I really dislike about this car, and it's the torque dip. You can see it right there at around 4,000 RPM. It is pretty significant. It's not as bad as last gen, I will say, which is great, but in order to get rid of that, I remember seeing a YouTube video not too long ago. I don't remember the channel, but shout out to you that did all the tuning. I will probably link the video when I do the editing, but they did a great job at showcasing the difference in the the torque curve when they did a tune. I believe the tune with the EcuTech or the ECU Tech that came out not too long ago. But you need unequal length headers and you need to tune it in order to completely get rid of the torque dip. If you just do a tune with E85, it will not get rid of the torque dip. So that's probably something gonna be in the future for me, not at the moment. I have some plans for this car coming up, but right now it's not gonna be a tune yet, but it will be coming. So the last one is gonna be rev hang. Oh, rev hang is not great on this car. I know all my friends that have driven this car, they're like, ooh, the rev hang is really bad. I've personally gotten used to it, but I can see why it's kind of annoying because it's supposed to make rev matching when you downshift a little easier. Kind of gives you more time to, you know, blip the throttle and then let go and then clutch in and then shift. But for more experienced drivers that are really quick, it's just gets in the way and it jolts the car a lot. So for me, I'm kind of, I guess it's not too bad for me just because I've learned to drive with this car and I'm kind of used to how the rev hang works already. Those are gonna be the reasons that I like and dislike about this car. 10,000 miles in, I am gonna shoot some photos while I'm up here because the sun is setting and it's gonna be nice. So let's see what photos we get out of this.